Hello and welcome to Allot 360 Analysts and Experts. I'm Michael Schachter and I'm here today to discuss QoE assurance with Mark Steiman, AVP of Product Management at Allot.
Hello, Michael. Happy to be here.
Mark, it's pretty clear today that CSPs need to extract more value out of their networks and increase customer satisfaction. How can Allot help with this twin challenge?
Sure. So let's first address maybe the major trends that the CSPs are experiencing. First of all, there is network capacity. As you know, network capacity is growing 40% year over year. And 70% of that growth are utilized by video and other interactive services like gaming. So basically, the customer expectations are continuously going up, while on the other hand, the budgets of the operators, both CapEx and OpEx, are going down. And that's due to either stable or actually declining ARPU. So if the operators had the budgets, improving customer satisfaction is really easy. You just throw more hardware or more virtual resources. But to do that while basically maintaining and optimizing your existing network is really hard. And that's the core of Allot offering. Basically, we allow the operators to utilize their network up to the limit, while in the same time to protect the QoE, the quality of experience of each of the subscribers and each of the applications.
So QoE and the customer experience is clearly a key challenge or driver for CSPs. What's the core technologies that Allot employs to help them achieve these goals?
Great question, Michael. So basically, all of our technology is based on two key pillars. One is analytics or closed-loop analytics, and the second one is machine learning. We believe that these days, in order to properly and efficiently to operate the network, it's not enough to monitor only network KPIs, such as bandwidth, RTT, retransmission. You have to really monitor the QoE. And QoE is really hard to analyze and understand, because it's basically a function of a lot of different parameters. It's a function of the device, it's a function of location, it's a function of environmental condition, it's a function of, network utilization of that or another entity. So basically, the solution has to analyze in real time and dynamically understand all these parameters and automatically implement, the required changes in the network. Another challenge which exists in the network today is the encryption. So majority of the traffic is encrypted. So it's really hard to understand the actual QoE of the encrypted application. That's why we believe machine learning is a key infrastructure, key enabler of everything we are doing. And we are investing in different types of machine learning, supervised learning, unsupervised learning, deep learning, and many others. And basically, we are building the whole analytics portfolio on top of the machine learning.
So using machine learning and this deep analytics, you're able to learn more about what's transpiring in the network and what the users are experiencing. But how do you then turn that into improved QoE and better utilization?
So we gather a lot of information in real time. We gather a lot of historic information because we sit inside the network, and we gather a lot of real-time information. Then, when there is an issue in the network, we are actually able to detect the degradation of the QoE of that or another service or at that or another location. Once we are detecting degradation of QoE, we are able to implement different techniques in order to fix the issue and basically improve the QoE or restore the QoE to the required level. These techniques include prioritization of mission-critical application or limiting traffic for actually non-so-essential background services, optimizing run a scheduler or video optimization, prioritizing different service plans. So all of these different techniques can be deployed in an automatic way into the network in order to resolve the issue. And by that, basically improving the QoE end-to-end, both from the detection up to actual mitigation in the network.
But Mark, if the CSP can now prioritize certain traffic at the expense of other traffic, doesn't that contradict net neutrality rules, which are meant to guarantee an even playing ground for all applications and services?
Operators who doesn't have a lot solution deployed will drop traffic. But which traffic they will drop? Any traffic, they don't really differentiate. And by that, they can drop mission critical traffic on one hand, or drop traffic of one user while allowing to traffic of other user to actually bypass. And by that, they actually introduce unfair treatment. With Allot in their network, they're able to see and drop only traffic that really can be dropped. So we can ensure that the mission critical services will continue to function. And if user traffic has to be dropped, we'll ensure that all of them are treated in a fair way. So basically we'll drop traffic in a proportional way of all the users. So again, we're actually producing the fairness in the network and allowing the operators to meet the regulatory requirements.
So in essence, you're saying that the Allot solution will actually help the service providers more fairly control or prioritize the traffic in a way that's fair for everybody. But doesn't the move to 5G with service-based networking, guaranteeing end-to-end quality, doesn't that in some way make this kind of a solution obsolete?
Definitely not, in our opinion, and I will explain why. It's true that 5G architecture is built all around service delivery and actually defines new mechanisms called network slicing, which is supposed to ensure end-to-end service delivery and quality. However, the amount or the number of network slices defined in a network will be limited in order to avoid a resources scarcity issue. So the limited number of slices will be defined for the group of applications with similar QoE requirements, or for the group of users with similar requirements, for example, enterprises. However, somebody will have still to ensure that within the slice, between different applications, the specific application QoE is preserved. And the same is true also for prioritization and resources allocation between the slices. It's true that 5G comes with much higher bandwidth and much higher capacity. However, it's also introduced new types of applications, and these applications will utilize the bandwidth. So we are talking about V2V, vehicle to vehicle, we're talking about assisted driving, we're talking about massive IoT, we're talking about augmented reality, just to mention a few new services. So at the end of the day, the capacity provided by the network will be utilized. And at some point of time, at some location, there will be congestion. And when there is a congestion, there should be somebody in the network in order to ensure the resources allocation and resources prioritization in the most efficient and proper way. And that somebody is basically Allot with its smart offering.
Okay, thank you very much, Mark. That brings to a close this session. I look forward to seeing you on the next Allot 360.